we're back in the pink cave again without a pink bass. Burst. Okay, another Rickenbacker. For all of you boys and girls who like the Rickenbackers, you know what, I can't help it. This one just came in today, and after some creative tinkering, shall we say, I've got it to be about as good as it's going to be for right now. I'm going to go through this stuff in a minute. One of the things you're going to hear is the back pickup is really weak. And for those of you who know about these basses, I've already bypassed the capacitor. And it's still weak, which means the pickup itself is going to need a rewind or a replace. Before we get to all that, what this bass is, this is a 1979 4001, and the color is usually called Autumn Glow. Autumn Glow being the kind of lighter tobacco burst kind of color. The weird thing about this one is Autumn Glow is usually a satin finish, and there's a walnut finish that looks like this, only darker, that's gloss. This is gloss, and it's Autumn Glow. Who knows? So with that said, draw your own conclusions on the color. It's Autumn Glow. I'm going to go with that for now. A couple other things here before we get into the what it sounds like. The neck on this bass, being a 79, all of these things are different because they were all hand cut. There was no CNCs in 79 in Santa Ana, California. So these were all hand done. This thing is very flat, very thin front to back, kind of medium wide. It's wider than the black and white checkered one that you always see me with. I actually like the feel of this neck. It is very flat, but it's quick. Okay, so neck. Everything on this guitar is stock except for the little weirdies here that somebody decided I can take these and I can adjust and lower the action of the bridge just by turning these little screws. And they changed the strap buttons, which I will have to go back and change again. All right, so let's go through all of the stuff. The trusty Ampeg is behind me. Sans Amp bass fly rig is on the floor, and I'm going to go through the standard stuff. So right now it's wide open. Again, the back pickup is weak, so it's going to get changed. Nonetheless, it is a cool sounding bass when you record with it, as I found out a few minutes ago. So we're running the mono output on the guitar, and let's just kind of go through and play with it. You're going to hear some of the tones. Now, one other thing I will mention, the frets on this thing have been crowned and dressed a few times, so there's a few spots that are divots where it's going to sound like it's fretting out. It is what it is. I actually think, as weird as this is going to sound for some of you who play a lot, I think that it actually adds something to it, and I just did it on a recording. So I'm here to tell you that it's not always all bad, that it's going to sound a little weird. Okay, so we're going to start up front. Front pickup only. Okay, that spot right there is where we're going to hear some of the frets get weird because they are really, really low. Okay, so I'm going to drop the tone just for fun. And you can hear the frets kind of making that noise because these frets in this spot are low. Up here, no big deal. Whoever had this didn't play up here too much. They played all down here. Okay, so that's the pickup in the front. Now, again, as if I haven't said it enough, this pickup is dying. So, it has that kind of sound to it by itself. Whereas if I pulled one of the other Ricks, the back pickup is just in your face, just like the front one is. So this is going to get fixed. But for now, just so you can hear what a weak back pickup with the capacitor passed by or bypassed sounds like. Very low output because it ain't giving much more. It's almost gone. So back in the middle. Okay, you get the basic idea of what this thing sounds like. So, you know, it's funny. As I was listening through, I was using the Ampeg Scrambler DI to do that track. And that thing actually has some pretty cool stuff in it, but it makes this bass sound different than the fly rig does, even though I'm running through the little Ampeg back here. Okay, so, you know, for those of you who like these kind of bass lines, and yes, I know it was played on a jazz bass because somebody said it earlier and I've seen the video, but we're using a Rick. Jazz basses are elsewhere. Okay, so for those kind of tunes and that kind of stuff, this bass actually has kind of a cool sound to it, and it has, I can't explain it exactly, but it has kind of this little mechanical sound. It has that kind of sound to it. The mids are pushing right through, and you know, Ricks aren't known for mids, they're known for highs and lows. So the mids on this thing actually are jamming through without any kind of mid control to beef them. Okay, so as always, here we are. Oh, the piano strings are matching. If you have questions about this or any of the other basses you see, if you have questions about Ampeg, if you have questions about Kalium strings, all these kind of cool things, fire away. Ask questions wherever you see the video. YouTube, Facebook, what have you. One other thing I want to mention, I want to give special thanks to my sweet friend Brittany Frompovich. She is a Lady Bass. She's my redhead queen. She made this cool necklace for me with a red guitar pick. She said she's going to make me a pink one, and I'm looking forward to that. If you like cool stuff like this, hit her up on Facebook. Lady Bass. She's a bass player too. That's right. Anyway, until next time, have fun, go play some bass. Get your Rickenbacker while you're at it.